Today you want to talk a little bit about a topic you're passionate about, and you're a young gentleman, but you know a bit about this.
Yes.
And this topic is computer science.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, what is the study of computer science?
So the study of computer science has been in this industry for a long time. So me, who is currently studying in BITS Pilani, it's one of the topmost university in India. So as you guys might have figured it out, I'm doing computer science only. So computer science is a very broad topic in it. So it's, when you say computer science, it can be branched out in many fields, whether it's web development, AI, which I think some people are hearing about a lot these days. Then similar to this, there are lots of fields which can be branched out. So in basic, computer science could be explained, you could say it's like the programming of computers, and it's just the basic building block of computers and technology.
You talked a little bit about, computer science in general, but what particularly got you interested in this field?
Okay, yeah, so as a mathematics and a science student, I took mathematics and science in my 11th and 12th. I had always a passion for problem solving and things like I really like to put my ideas into work, and this was one of the reasons why I took computer science from my 9th grade only, because it just helped me put my ideas and knowledge into actual use. This was the main reason why I took computer science, and one of the things is technology and computer science is one of the industry which is growing rapidly and day by day. And I have always been a type of a person who likes to learn more and more. So being in a field of computer science helps me learn more and more day by day. It just keeps on adding and keeps on gives it just helps me learn new things every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For someone who is maybe in school,
Yeah.
and they're interested in exploring computer science, what is the best way for them to know that this is something for them?
Okay, so of course, so I took computer science when I was just in 9th grade also, and initially I will tell you, I didn't like it. I did not like computer science. I was like, what the hell is happening? What are these codes? Why do I have to learn this and all? But and one of the biggest mistake that people do when actually, and people why they do not pursue computer science further, is that people think that it's everything you have to learn and mug up everything, but it's not that like that. If you just focus and understand the programming and behind the coding and anything, web development and anything, if you try to understand the the basic and the understand, if you try to just understand the code, you will start to like it. I'm telling you, because initially I was just mugging it up and getting marks in school for the sake of it. I was like mugging it up and mugging every code and everything. But after, it's like in my 10th standard, I think so, I started to learn more about it. I started to develop things on my own. It wasn't like I had to do it for school. It was like I was thinking to making a chess game. I made a tic-tac-toe game. It's like these things really excites. It could excite anyone. It's like making a game on your own. Of course, that will be exciting.
So you did the back end of this?
Yeah, I did.
And then you saw it come into fruition. You actually saw the result of the back end.
Yeah.
And that's probably a very satisfying
Yeah,
feeling.
it's just, a satisfying. It just brings your inner child in a way. It's like you play these games when you're small, like tic-tac-toe, chess and everything. And I'm pretty sure everyone who was, when you're 10, 15 years old, used to think, how do these things work? It's like, and everything. And after, you start to understand how these things work. It really, it does excite you.
So when you're talking about kind of programming, you start by programming something that's kind of small. You put the code in, and then when you see the result, you can interact with the result of that program that you developed,
Yeah.
like a game or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So for someone who's maybe new to computer science, what's a good point that they can start on? What's a basic game or something they can program in code?
So it's not easy to start with a game. I won't recommend to start with developing a game and everything if you have just started. So of course, I don't want to go very deeper in the programming languages and everything like Java, Python. I'm not going into that. But when you start with coding, you just start with basic things like printing a statement. It's just printing a statement or just calculating. It's like basic codes. You start with just basic codes, you could say you can make a basic calculator because it's very simple. All the command functions are inside the program. You just have to code it in a way that it will just gives you the output.
So what is your degree called you're doing?
Okay, so my degree is Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science. So of course it includes lots of things. So I started with DSA, Data Structures and Algorithms, OOPS, Object Oriented Programming Language. So these are things which are very detailed, and especially because I'm in college level. So these are things which is very focused on the programming and the coding part of the computer science. While there are other things also which people go is like you could say database management, which could be database management, which is more like the handling of all the data and the ERP or the all the data. So there are lots of categories in which it can be divided, and it's not just if you take computer science, it's like you're doing computer science. Computer science is further divided into many fields. It
Really?
So one of the main fields is web development. So of course all the websites and the web pages that are made are made by the backend team or the front end team. So that's one of the field. Then there's another field called cybersecurity. So that involves a little bit of hacking and everything. So yeah, that's a completely different field. Then there's also game development. That is also a field which is coming, which is growing day by day.
It's emerging, right?
Yeah, it is emerging.
Especially with GTA 6 now.
Yeah, GTA 6 also coming next year. And can you imagine, it took almost, I think so, 10 to 15 years.
I think 13 years.
10, 15, yeah, 14 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you really get to know how much hard work is put into this. Because I am not sure if you guys have seen the trailer of the GTA 6, but it looks so realistic.
It's very realistic.
Yeah.
And I heard it's the most expensive budget they've ever used for a
Yes.
video game. I think $1 billion or something.
Yeah. It's like it's more expensive than the Burj Khalifa also.
Really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
That's crazy. And a lot of memes came up, right? We got this before
Before
GTA 6. We got
GTA
this
6.
before GTA
Yes,
6,
yes,
all this
yes.
stuff. So what are the subjects you're doing in your course?
Okay, so the subjects that I'm doing is DSA, which is one of the most important topics in computer science, and you really need to have a proper grasp of it, which is data structures and algorithms. Then the second course that I'm doing is object-oriented programming language. This is another concept. These two concepts, DSA and OOPS, are one of the most important topics you really need to have thorough knowledge about in computer science. Then other than that, there's also database management, which I just finished this semester only.
You were saying that people can get into website development, they can get into
Yeah.
game development, they can get into all these things. What are you looking to get into once you're graduating?
Okay, so there are two things in which I am very keen to learn more about. Is one of the things that I'm already doing is web development. So I've already done HTML, React and JavaScript. And the second thing which I am actually very keen to learn more about is artificial intelligence, and I really want to just combine it with whatever else I'm doing. Like I really want to just implement it in implement it further with whether I'm doing a web development or whether I'm doing game dev, anything. I really want to learn more about artificial intelligence. So yeah.
That actually was kind of bringing me to my next question,
Okay.
which I already had planned to ask you
Yeah.
about AI's role in, computer science. Is there a risk, or do we see it kind of being compatible with each other?
Okay, so one of the thing is AI is still very new. People talk about AI and talk about it's just all over the internet. But if you look at the industries right now, AI has not been implemented right now. It's still in development process. So of course, it's something that I want to learn, and I know in the coming years it will get a lot more recognition. It's just it is still in its growing stage. Of course, it will have very big role to play in the future, and it will take some of the industries.
And jobs potentially, or do we see them working side by side? Do we see AI creating a whole
I
new
feel
stream
I
of
will
jobs?
see working them side by side. Oh, okay, of course, AI can take many job opportunities. That's very true. It's just you really need a human brain to also function alongside AI. You really do need. If you just talk to ChatGPT also, I saw a video somewhere in which a human tried to gaslight or manipulate ChatGPT in believing that 1 plus 1 is equal to 3.
Okay.
And he believed that.
Okay.
It's just, of course, AI is still in its growing stage. It's still developing. I know that. But I do think that a human touch is still needed for the technology to grow.
And I guess for emotional intelligence, for creativity.
Emotional intelligence.
type of
One of the
stuff.
things which is very difficult to impart in a artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence. It's very difficult. AI cannot think how humans can think, emotionally especially. That's one of the most distinguishing
Features.
Yeah, features.
And like you're saying, AI is based on feedback loops, right? So
Yeah.
like we're feeding it information.
Feeding
we're
it
saying don't do
information.
X, do Y, then
Yes,
Y.
yes.
Don't do Y, do Z.
Do Z,
this.
yeah. Of course, it's learning on its own as well. But yeah, we are you could say the source of it, and we are the providers of the
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
So now when I come to academics, what
Yeah.
are the top universities for studying computer science in India? And after that, how does one get into such universities? What are the requirements?
Okay. So in India, one of the topmost universities, I'm pretty sure people have heard about them, is IIT. And of course, there are many IIT fields like IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, and all. So yeah, IIT is one of the topmost university. Along with it, BITS Pilani, which I'm currently studying it. That's also one of the topmost university for computer science. So yeah, the requirements. So for these universities like IIT, BITS Pilani, and other universities also Manipal and all, you have to give entrance exams, and these entrance exams technically don't include the syllabus of computer science. Like you have to actually prepare for it almost 2 years prior to your start of the college. So and it's a very competitive exam. Like people, I think so, there are like 2 to 3 lakh people giving every year these
2 to
exams.
3 lakh people.
Yeah.
That's 2 to 3 million people.
No, that's
A lakh is a million.
a
right?
lakh is not a million. A
What
lakh
it?
is 100,000.
100,000.
Yeah.
2 to 300,000.
Yeah, 2 to 300,000 every year, and it's a very competitive exam. And imagine these many people giving the exams, and you could say almost per university, not more than 120 or 150 students getting computer science. I'm just talking about computer science here. Of course, there are many fields like mechanical, civil engineering, and all. But if I'm talking just about computer science per university, like that's, I think so, 7 IITs. In each IIT, I don't think so there are more than 150 or 200 students who can get computer science.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can see how
Very
competitive
competitive.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. And for those that don't know, people from outside India, IIT it's harder to get into than Ivy League colleges.
Ivy League colleges, definitely.
Very, very hard to get
Very,
into.
very hard. And one of the things is people who graduate from IIT, especially if they have computer science, because it's one of the topmost fields, companies whenever they look to India, the prime universities they look into are IITs only. It's like as soon as they see a IIT student who is a CS student as well, they will be like, I just want to have them. Yeah, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, any big level, this company would just love to have IIT students.
So it's reputable.
It's very
Very reputable. And once you're studying there, once you've graduated, the chance of you getting a job is better because
Yes,
you've
definitely.
secured a.
That's the reason people imagine, I had a friend who started Fiji training from 6th grade.
Okay.
Imagine from 6th, and she still didn't got into IIT.
Just with the vision of getting into IIT.
IIT, yes. Imagine.
Yeah, which is
So
crazy.
it's
That's
very competitive.
Indian Institute of Technology, and there are quite a few,
Yes.
right? There's IIT Ahmedabad,
Yeah,
IIT.
IIT Mumbai, IIT
Every
Delhi,
city,
IIT Kanpur.
big city has it.
Yes, yes.
And they're publicly government funded, right?
Yeah, they are government funded.
Okay. So thank you so much for sharing about
No problem, no issue.
computer science in
Yes.
India, studying this program. Very insightful, and I'm sure anyone who's watching this would have learned a thing or two that's new. One thing is actually towards the end of the conversation, I normally ask everyone if you could give a piece of advice, any general piece of advice for anyone listening, what would it be? It could be personal, professional, academic.
Okay, in this chat we talked about computer science, of course, and people who would be watching this might think that it's a very difficult field to get in, or it's very competitive. Of course, it is competitive, but I think so that is one of the main beauty about it. Is because you just it just helps you to learn, and it just helps you to grow as a person better. So yeah, so my advice is just follow your passion, whether it's in anything, whether it's in computer science, or you just want to play a sport and you think you are good at it. Make sure that whatever you do, you just keep your 100% in that thing, whether it's computer science or maybe cricket, badminton, anything. Just try to give your 100% in it.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Good note to end on. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Prabal.
thank you for having me.
Thanks, man.